Uh, F100 truck project. Not sure what part this is, but anyway, this this chunk of wood basically is a piece of ironbark log, and what I'm going to attempt to do with this today is carve out a metal shaping block with it. I've carved out, well, I've basically marked out a section in the top, a horseshoe shape in the top, close to 6 inches wide, probably about 10 inches long at the moment. And what I'm going to do is carve out a stump, pretty much like Peter Tomasini carves out to do some metal shaping and metal forming with. So I've bought this nasty little item and mounted it to a 5-inch grinder, and I'm basically going to attack the end of this stump and try and get a recess in it for shaping metal, and at the end of it all, the big picture will be shaping sections of metal for the truck project. So anyway, I'll make a start. This will probably come up in bits and pieces, but anyway, so that's a big ironbark log, probably a little bit too tall. It'll get cut down and trued up so it sits straight, but anyway, nice very hard piece of seasoned Australian timber, and I'll attack it with this vicious looking tool right now, and I'll see what I can achieve. Alright, continuation of the Ford F100 truck project part 19. Anyway, this is the stump, the ironbark stump I started out with this morning, and basically what I've done, I've carved a notch in it so I can do some metal fab and all the rest of it. So yeah, so I've just carved that out. I took a few leads off the internet, and a couple of people have referred to Peter Tomasini, who's a sheet metal fabricating genius from Melbourne, and anyway, I've just followed his example for what one of these blocking stumps should look like. So I've gone with that. It's got a big splash of peanut oil on it at the moment, so I just sort of let that soak in, and so yeah, that's another part of rebuilding the truck. I have been on a little bit of a buying mission lately, and what I've also bought is some hammers from Peter, fantastic quality hammers, and yeah, some big blocking hammer there, and a smaller blocking hammer there for fabricating shapes and this and that. So that's all part of the story, the madness of trying to rebuild a style side F100 bed back to original. So yeah, part of the buying mission. And also what I've bought is sorry, I'll probably spin everyone out. I've bought these. These are Dynacorn made products out of the US. Basically, there you got a tail light corner here, and a tail light corner here. Fantastic quality. Yeah, beautifully made. And the other piece here is what's deemed as a stake bed corner. That basically is the panel that your tailgate hinges work off. So these things, let's see if I can marry these together real quickly, just for a look. So these, these pretty much marry together like that. So if you can see that, that's your F100 style side bed corner there. So yeah, so that's that all should that's all part of it. So and yeah, so that my ones on the original truck were butchered and pretty much rooted. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to bother with the original bed that come with the truck. It's seen better days, as you can see. There is some resemblance, like there's the stake bed corner, but this thing's seen so many repairs. It's rusted. It's fucked. The taillight opening's been butchered. It's quite ugly. So ultimately, what I need to do is reproduce this center panel that runs across the bed, and then as this tub's going to go on a modified chassis anyway, the floor's not going to be exactly factory. It can be factory at the rear here where the tailgate shuts on it, but beyond that it's going to have to step up some, and to go over the chassis rails, as they're much higher for the independent rear end. Yeah, part of the spending mission is I also bought a stretcher shrinker. So that's all part of the madness, trying to reproduce quarter panels for the F100. So that'll be good for the lips and the returns and the shrinking, and everything needs to go on to get these panels to work. I don't know, I should have pulled this out before I showed you, but these, I don't know if it's going to sharpen the camera, but these quarters on these the original ones, they're completely fucked, and so there's another example of the other side. It's really bad. So I thought, instead of wasting half my life repairing all these individual little things, it's got so many. It is rough as guts. So ultimately, what I'm going to do is reproduce the top and the bottom sections. I'll reproduce this end section, the front panel of the bed. I'm going to use an original forward pressing out of the back of a F100 cab, which I've got, which is hidden somewhere else. Anyway, I'll show you that when it all comes together. But yeah, so stretcher shrinker, reproduce quarter panels, basically just use this as a pattern for measurement, and yeah, so that's what's going to happen. There's the wheeling machine, so that'll be used for shaping stuff up and all the rest of it. But yeah, the quarters are very ugly, but as they are, they'll make a good mould. There's the F1 sitting there patiently waiting for time, and here's the 64 truck, just in the middle of making more shock mounts and various other things, but that will happen soon. Yeah, so yeah, I'm happy with the way that turned out. But as you can see, this is the original height of the bed floor, and this rises up some, so I will probably raise the floor a couple of inches, and then these high sections in the chassis will only be the bed floor. It won't have a big ridiculous box in it, which is not what I'm going for. I'm going for original, or as close as I can get to it. But yeah, so that's just a quick look at what's going on. But yeah, got to do some bump stop mounts to the top arm here and some other bits and pieces, but that will happen. Yeah, that's a Ford center. I've got a M80 center out of a Commodore, which is going to go into the center of that soon. And yeah, bits and pieces everywhere, but yeah, it will all come together. Anyway, so yeah. Anyway, that'll do for now. So yeah, yeah, Dynacolumn panels are beautiful, and I'm pretty happy with the blocking stump. That will do for my first attempt. Look, if it doesn't work out, I'll just go find a bigger stump and gouge that up and see what I can come up with that. So anyway, that'll do for part 19. Bits of video, but I hope it all makes sense soon when I start fabricating and forming up some sheet metal for this crazy idea about rebuilding a style side F100 bed. Anyway, cheers.